Okay, we are back on 49ers Talk, joined by Steve Young. And Steve, the big news recently here, the Carolina Panthers acquire Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You think that has any trickle down or any impact
Possible.
ultimately on Jimmy
It's possible.
Garoppolo?
So, I mean, Matthew, I think a year ago today, I talked about the quarterback situation of the 49ers is fraught with terror.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, for a lot, and I give Jimmy credit for not only playing pretty well, but making sure that it was not fraught with terror. Like, he did a good job. Like, it was hard and it was complicated, and I really appreciate his spirit of how he did that. That was a tough spot, and he did. I think he, did a good job of. And so here we are today with a full commitment, it seems, from the 49ers to say Jimmy's going to move on. So we get that part. Is it really full? I don't know. I think that there's still a chance that Jimmy's on the team. And I think that we need to just recognize that until Trey takes it, he doesn't have a chance yet. So you can't say it's Trey's fault. He hasn't had a chance to take it yet. And I know we're going to get back to Baker Mayfield.
Okay,
I know where you're going,
sure,
so let's just let's move into
let's
it.
Cut to the chase. Right?
So until Trey has a chance to take it, they need to make sure that they've got this covered. And I don't know, and do you pay $24 million to have the coverage? Like, that's all things that are way above you and I's pay grade. But until Jimmy's gone, we got to know that Jimmy's personality is capable of coming back into that locker room and not causing too much grief. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if you're looking for a place for Jimmy Garoppolo, if they don't cut him, because in the end, if they go to camp and say, we cannot do this with Jimmy in this locker room because Jimmy is beloved in this locker room, how can Trey have a chance to go be as good as he's good? We're going to cut him. Fine. Then he's going to go find a job. People pick him up the next day. But if we're going to trade him, to your point of Baker Mayfield, going back to the original question, what does this allow you to do? The Browns have a problem. They have no quarterback. So there's a possibility that they would trade, but I think they might wait for him to just get cut. Yeah. And so I don't know, short of cutting Jimmy, if there's something to get done. Yeah. Is the long answer for a very short question.
Well, I mean, it's tough to put yourself into Jimmy's shoes, but if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, you would want to be like, give me a resolution now for the start of training camp, right?
Well, hold on a second. First of all, players, we historically don't get to. We can complain, but we don't generally get our way. The second thing is he is coming off surgery, and no one knows exactly what they're getting. So there's no way that Jimmy can say, hey, treat me right. Well, no one can treat you right until we see you throw the football. Yeah. But once we see you throw the football, I think things will pick up. Mm-hmm. And because he's got a great arm, and everybody knows if it's back, then we can talk about. There's nothing to talk about until he throws the football.
Yeah. Last time we spoke, you talked about you were 100% certain that Trey Lance has what it takes from the shoulders up, understanding where the ball should go. Now it's a matter of delivering the ball. After that, I asked Trey Lance if you and he have talked, and he said that yes.
Yes.
So do you have a relationship with Trey Lance?
And I had one. I mean, I make myself available to Jimmy. I make myself available to Trey. Like, look, if I could ever be helpful, and because Trey and I had a couple of chances to kind of go back and forth with some questions and answers, there's nothing I can do with the offense. I can't say, hey, look, this offense that I know so intimately, which I do not, I'm not going to. But I can give you some perspective. I can give you some, if nothing else, a sense of support, And so I've enjoyed those conversations, and I want to have some more with Trey if he's willing to, because I think that there's a place carefully for that I can be helpful. And look, the game has come to me in some ways, right? It's like I've been out for 20 years, but now the game is it's my game. Like,
Have you been out for 20 years?
It's been 20 years.
It seems like it was like 5 years ago.
I know, and it's that's a whole other problem. But I would love to be helpful if there's a place to be. Last thing I want to do is come in hot, trying to talk about stuff and Trey's like, I don't know what you're talking about, So very carefully, I'll be as helpful as I can be.
And he seems to be. He said that he's very receptive to anything.
So I think you got to be careful, right? Because that he is that kind of a spirit, and I appreciate that, a sponge, And so because of that, you got to be careful. You don't just start throwing stuff out. Be careful about that. But anyway, I think that Trey's got and I say this for Jimmy as well. If I was going to play quarterback today in the NFL, and I get around like Monday nights, so I can have some authority about where I would want to play if I could pick a spot. And it's not because I was a 49er for 15 years. I want to say 15, but it probably wasn't 15. But I would, no question, number one, run to Kyle's offense, to this team, to the spirit of what John's built. Number one. No, and Rams close, Chiefs close. There's some others. But.
Okay, so when you go around the league and you talk to people at the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, whomever, what stands out? What distinguishes them that makes you say that's a place I would want to play?
Top line management. So John's done a good job in talent, getting the talent in the door and having a spirit of, a locker room that's self-policed, all these things that you have to have. I think they're top 5 and all those things. The place where they're top 1 is innovation. Kyle's ability week to week to create not a simple solution for a quarterback, but it's
well defined.
It's well defined, and it's. I'm not. I want to say easy, but I don't mean easy. I mean it allows all your athleticism, all your smarts, and everything else to come out. Like it's what this offense is what I would dream about playing in, and so that's where it's a cut above everybody else in my mind, and that's why for Trey and for Jimmy, the best they'll ever be, in my opinion, will be right here with this team. And so for Trey, that's a great thing because it looks like he's going to be here, and for Jimmy, that's a scary thing because I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah. So how can Kyle Shanahan's offense do all the things that he was able to do with Matt Schaub and Matt Ryan and Jimmy Garoppolo, and also integrate Trey Lance's athleticism into that mix?
So what Kyle loves about Trey is his processing ability to find the open guy. And with that in mind, Kyle will try to create some opportunities where he's wide open. Because that's where I think Trey has the growth, the refinement that's necessary is in delivering the football. That's not his best quality right now. I think his processing power is his best quality. And Kyle will lean into that. Like, I know that Trey will find the guy. Now, can I make him wide open so that I don't cause him to have to hit tight windows or be in some tough spots early? And that's why, Kyle, I think, actually can create those kind of opportunities. And the thing is that Kyle will love Trey's processing power and will take advantage of it.
Yeah. So when you say you're getting that, when you talk about the processing power, that's coming from Kyle, who has, or is it you talking to Trey?
No. This is your ability to take multiple inputs of data in real time with adrenaline running through your system, and you can now process all of that. And it's, like I say, it's multiple inputs. It's the play, the formation, the defense, the blitz pickups, the what they did last week, what Kyle said right before the game, what just happened, and now my adrenaline's up, and now it's 3rd and 8, and it's all that stuff. And his processing ability to take all that in and spit out an answer that you can have confidence in is really the talent I'm talking about.
He is, I don't know him well, been around him a little bit. But coming from that small town in Minnesota, North Dakota State, and now he's 22 years old, and now he will be on the big stage. How do you feel like he's equipped to handle that pressure and that spotlight?
Matt, it's going to be so iterative over time. Like, he has to face how many filters and hurdles to that the challenges he's going to be. The old Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, and he hasn't been punched in the face. And this is metaphorical, right? So, but you're going to get punched in the face 50 times. Different reasons, different times, different things that happen, and you have to right yourself, figure out what to do through it, and we have to watch you do it. And so that's what I mean. It's like if you're going to watch Trey Lance for a couple of games and go, I got this. You don't. Trey doesn't have it. You don't have it. There's a ton of things that need to happen. There's big games filters. There's I had a terrible game and people booed me at home filter. There's the thing. There's 1,000 things that have to happen that he's got to live through, and then we got to watch him how he responds. And like I said, no one knows exactly how people respond until they're. This didn't happen in North Dakota State. These are not the things that he's seen before. He's young, and we're going to have to watch him go through all those filters. And then, but I think this he's earnest, almost too earnest in some ways.
How so?
He's so willing to hear and listen and what did you say, Coach? Tell me you tell me what to do, and I'll get it done. And so much of the game to get to where he wants to get is art. It's nothing that the science of it. You can ask the coach and talk about it and everything. You can take that to the nth degree. You still can't get it done. There's an art part of it that you figure out your own. It's like street smarts. It's that guile that you kind of you gain over a period of time. That I get what's happening here, right. And I need and this is what I'm going to handle here and there. And that's nothing. Some guys are like Patrick Mahomes showed up with it. I think it's because he had a dad in professional sports. Peyton Manning had a dad in professional sports. There's a guile that I think that you can have because you're around it a lot more. You don't have the normal growth stuff that you generally have to go through. But we're going to have to go through that with him.
Yeah. Have you ever, John Lynch is a GM. Did that opportunity, have you ever thought about football management?
I would love it. I love the. It was funny. Remember when Eddie, Mr. D handed the management to Denise, and then John was the one that was going to run John, and that was '99. Right before that, there was this period of time when Carmen had kind of left the building, and Tim McDonald and I were kind of the senior guys on the team, and so we kind of thought of ourselves as general managers. with no power. But I can tell you that our natural instinct was to be a general manager and go try to do it. And I've always thought that that'd be a fun place to be. But the job has such rigor to it. And I decided that I started my family when I retired, and I wanted to honestly and earnestly focus and make sure that I had plenty of time. And that's just what I've done. And not that I would have, who knows if I would have an opportunity, but you can tell I like talking about it and thinking about it.
Yeah. And so you'll be back Monday nights, wherever the game is played?
Yeah, it does look like that. And so that'll be wherever the games are. And there'll be a couple that are in New York rather than at the game. Okay. But generally.
Will you be, let's see, the 49ers play week 4 at Levi's Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
Will you be going to Mexico City later in the season?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll see you there too.
All right. Steve?
Matthew, thank you. I'm sorry. I think it's preseason because I'm over talking everything. I've had 4 months to think about it myself and no one to talk to. So you get 4 months of thinking in 5 minutes.
I get
apologize.
the unfiltered, Steve.
The unfiltered, and it's like I don't. No one talks about this at home. Remember, my kids don't really follow football. My wife doesn't really like football. So this is I'm on Matt Maiocco's couch.
Hey, anytime I pick up the cell phone and I see a call coming in from you, I know that we're going to be talking. We're going to be solving the problems of the world.
Yeah, beautiful. Nice to be with you.
All right, Steve.
Thanks, Matthew.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.